Alright, we do folks here, boom. Mark on 225 numbers after the name of little games beating action over here, man. A little Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. You already know how we be is doing. This, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty confident about it. This may have been the last game I ever rented at Blockbuster. I kind of vaguely remember that. I'd played Kirby games before. I had Kirby on the NES. I'd always heard Kirby Superstars was cool on the SNES, but even at the time, it was difficult to find, kind of expensive, so I never actually played it. And then Kirby 64 came out really late in the N64's life cycle. I mean, almost, I don't know if the GameCube was out already or was about to be out, something along those lines. And I did the math, and I was like, I can't afford to like buy both or buy any. So I was like, I managed to convince, I think my pops to like get me the GameCube, and Kirby 64 fell on the wayside. But I went to a Blockbuster and I rented it, and I was very happy. It was probably the best game to rent. You know, when you go back to Blockbuster back in these days, and you'd rent, like, for example, let's say you were rent like a Final Fantasy game. You're not beating that in one weekend. I mean, I guess you could if you really wanted to, but in a regular weekend, you're not beating that in the weekend. You got like 3 days for it, maybe sometimes 5. I vaguely remember that was like a big deal. But 3 days for it, you're not beating that kind of game. What you could do is pray that you like give it back and then get the same copy with the same save file. I never had that happen. I always would get some different game. I never had it happen once. But when I got Kirby, it worked out very well. I beat it in the weekend. It's not a long game. It's pretty short. It's relatively easy. I think there's a decent amount of replayability just to kind of get all the collectibles kind of things and try out all the different moves. Because even when playing through it right now, again on the Switch, I still stuck around to like a handful of items. I would mix and match as much as I could, but I'm not the most adventurous kind of guy, and if you don't force me in games to do things, sometimes I don't. So what I remember when I was a kid playing it, I kind of stuck through with like maybe even like this flame sword like I am here for like, I don't know, a bunch of stages. Then I was like, oh, hold up, there's something better. Let me try that. So all in all, it's a very great rental game, and it's a very quick and easy game. I still to this day don't know about the value of paying like $60, $70, whatever it cost like when it came out. I think it might be a little bit excessive for what it is. But in terms of Kirby games, I had a really good time with it. I think it's fun. I think it's a great addition to the Switch lineup.